Now, the World Cup, under 3 weeks away, as we keep telling you, kicking off 20th of November, the opening game of Qatar versus Ecuador. And it's going to be a unique competition, not only for the time of year that it's taking place, but also question marks over the freedom of fans and the country's human rights record. Well, the World Cup organisers have been holding another news conference to update us on preparations ahead of the tournament. Joining us now to give us more is sports journalist Ben Jacobs. And Ben, we were being told that the number of England and Wales fans likely to go, not that great, but clearly there are concerns about what will be meeting them when they get out to Qatar.
Yes, exactly. The purpose of this press conference was for largely government and local organising committee members to talk about the infrastructure ranging from health and safety to the ID cards that will be needed. And of course, this so-called Haya card in particular that everybody must sign up for, and fears perhaps that there will be data breaches, and fans may naturally be concerned about that. But it was also an opportunity to talk about the airport, the process of immigration, right through to what if you have a medical emergency, and what kind of facilities will be on site at all of the different stadiums as well. And I think that the headline, certainly from the press conference, was that if you have this so-called Haya card, which is essential when you come in because it contains your visa, then you will get free medical care even as a foreign national. So that's one main headline. And then as far as England and Wales fans are concerned, the other thing that we've learned over the last week is that British police will be out there as well to act as a so-called buffer.
Yeah, but they've got no policing powers as such. They are just there effectively as liaison officers. Is that right?
Yes, to some extent. I mean, it's very common at any World Cup or major tournament to send out local police because they know the fan bases. But when in Qatar, they won't be able to do anything legally without working in conjunction with local authorities because the laws are obviously different. But what they will be able to do is offer advice, and if situations escalate, they will be able to help with the likely deportation or exit, if we're to term it in a slightly softer way, from the country. So the fear of fans is obviously that they're going to go out there, they're going to get into trouble, or maybe they're going to do something that we don't construe as that troublesome, and they're going to find themselves in jail. And the authorities are saying that if there is an eventuality where an England or a Wales fan gets into trouble, like excess drinking, they could be spot fined, or if it's more severe, then the British police will help get them out of the country rather than risking a situation where they end up being charged criminally under the so-called Sharia law within Qatar.
Yeah, and of course the consequences thereof. What about the heat then? I mean, are they going to be allowed just to wear flip-flops and shorts and T-shirts? Because obviously dress code is another tricky area.
That's another thing that's been addressed, and obviously the dress code is very different to a lot of fans will be used to. So there are areas, particularly Western areas within Doha, where fans can wear shorts and T-shirts. In the malls, they can show flesh as well, and in the stadiums, they can obviously wear short-sleeve shirts of their countries. So there's not a huge issue around that bar or beach or mall or stadium or fan park. But when walking around Doha, there's also areas where fans could stumble into, and they might then have to dress more conservatively. And the challenge is knowing where you can and can't go. And that's where, according to this press conference, the volunteers are going to be key in educating and guiding, and to some extent the police as well. And the final thing I think I would say very briefly is just that it is winter. So at night, fans should also be aware, regardless of the problems and the rules, that having lived out there myself, it gets pretty cold as well. It could even rain. So pack a jumper would also be my advice. It will be colder than a lot of fans realise, particularly after 5 p.m.
OK, so take your umbrella to Qatar as well, just in case. Ben, thanks very much indeed for updating us. Thank you.